What's good with y'all? This is my website. If you want to remove your own collections or repair your own credit, I have the letters. And if you want to book consultations or have me repair your credit for you, you can go ahead and tap in. The link is in the bio.
What's good with y'all, boys? Man, this KJ Lee, and I'm back with another vid. So it's gonna be a good vid. I want to tell y'all the 3 credit hacks that you might not know that can help boost your credit up a lot. So number 1, we have the cash balance transfer method. Now, it's pretty common. People really don't even know how to use it. When you tell people cash balance transfer, they're like, hey, what's that? So basically, this works best if you have more than one card. So say you have like 2 cards and you have like a high utilization. So just for an example, say you have 2 cards, they both have 2,500 overall. Now, say you got one maxed or almost maxed out, and it's reporting that you got like 55% utilization or something like that. And it's reporting back to the 3 bureaus that you got this high utilization. Now, to help boost your score momentarily, you might have like a small window, like a month window, to apply for the things that you need. Now, you can cash balance transfer one card to another card. So then when it reports back on the statement date, then it'll report back to the 3 bureaus that you paid the debt off, even though all you did was really just transfer it to another card. So that's how you can have your score shoot up 70, 100 points. So say you're like in the 600s, because when you have a high utilization, it's going to drop to the 600s. You do the cash balance transfer, and then it shoots up to the 700s. So then you go to a credit union, you apply for another card, and you get a higher limit. So then when it does report back again on the other card, it's not going to be as severe because you added another card, you added a higher limit card to lower the overall utilization. So that's how you can play that. And you can also do a cash balance transfer. So say you got a card, I talk to my clients about it sometimes too. So say you got a card with a very high interest rate, right? So you can end up doing a cash balance transfer, like I said, to get another card that has a lower interest rate. And you can just cash balance transfer the debt onto that card with a lower interest rate, so you can go ahead and tap the debt and just pay it off way faster. So a lot of people don't even know that. Number 2 is the due date and the statement date. So a lot of people don't know the difference in that. The due date is that's what you want to pay to prevent getting a late payment. The statement date is when it officially reports to the 3 bureaus. So these are 2 different things, but they're both equally as important. Usually the statement date is like 3 to 5 days after the due date, usually. But what a lot of people get messed up is, so say they pay the due date right on the day, right? You always want to give yourself 3 to 5 days ahead of time, so to make sure nothing wrong goes, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong happens, and then it can actually report. I've seen it happen plenty of times. It didn't happen to me a few times, a little bit, but that's why you always want to use under 30% just in case something like that happens. So when it does report back, it's not that much. And also, some cards might have the statement date before the due date. That's why when you always get a new card, you always want to call and ask, like, hey, when's the statement date? Always make sure of that, because sometimes when the app, they don't show it. They might just only show the due date. So you just want to be aware of this, because that's what it's going to report. So whatever your utilization is reporting on the statement date, that's how you know. And a lot of people might get it confused, because say they might pay it down on the due date, and then they might run it back up. But not knowing about the statement date, they run it back up on the card and it reports. So now it's just like you just paid it off and you did it wrong. Now it's going to report back you got all this utilization. Now you got to wait a whole nother month for it to report back again. When you could have if you just knew about the statement date, you would have been good. So that's just that. And lastly, and a lot of people don't even know this, every 6 months, when you're using under 30%, you're paying it off in full, you want to ask for a credit limit increase. Now, you do want to call and ask and see, because when you ask for a credit limit increase, they might give you a hard pull for that. But you want to make sure that they give you a soft pull. So even when you ask for a credit limit increase, just from using under 30% and paying it off in full, that it doesn't affect your credit negatively. A hard pull is kind of like an increase when you apply for a card, and say if you get it or not, you're going to get hit with an increase because you applied. So you don't want the increase, you don't want a hard pull. That's why it's important to call and ask if they have a soft pull. Now every 6 months while you're doing this, you want to ask for credit limit increases, so you can overall keep building up your credit profile. So say you do have a card with like 2,500, 6 months come, you call them and ask for an increase. Now they increase it, now you got a 5K card. Now imagine if you got 3, 4, 5 cards and you keep doing this every 6 months, and you know, over time, that's how you keep building credit wealth. That's how you keep building higher limits. And you know, the higher and higher limits you get, when you do use some money, your utilization isn't going to be as high. So every 6 months, you want to make sure that you're doing that. You might as well. If you're using it responsibly and they can see that, they can look on your track record, more than likely, yes, they're going to give you a credit limit increase. Now, some might not do it, like some beginner cards and stuff like that, they might be more stingy with it, but that's why we just keep building our credit roster up. That's why we just keep our credit good. Now, this was just a quick little vid, a very informative vid, 3 facts or 3 secrets that you might have not known if you're new. But if you knew and you mess with this vid, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'm out.